Hey guys, I'm sure you already heard about this Pope Benedict resigning. I just about fell out of my seat when I saw this because this is so huge. This is, I think, the biggest event that has happened in 2,000 years. Um, and, you know, it's happening right exactly on February 11th, which on God's calendar right here, which is what this is. Um, we started all of God's timelines on God's fulfillments themselves instead of going by this what humans say the calendar is at right now. We're going by what God says. We had a fulfillment here, and that's what this timeline is. We had a fulfillment here of Daniel 12:12. That's what this timeline is, and this timeline down here starts on the fulfillment of Revelation 12. Notice that February 11th was a huge date. There were all these lineups. It was the first day of the 11th month on this timeline that started at the fulfillment of Revelation 12. I have tons of links in the description box below this video. Please check that out. Don't comment on my video unless you know what you're talking about, you have scriptural proof to back you up, or you've actually watched all my videos, because I'm blocking people like crazy right now. I don't have time for it. Okay? Today is the first day of the 11th month, if you start from the fulfillment of Revelation 12:1 through 5. It is the first day of Sukkot if you start God's timeline on the fulfillment of Daniel 12:11, and it is the day that Moses descends for the second time from the 40 days on this timeline that started on the fulfillment of Daniel 12:12 on the Feast of Trumpets, okay? This is huge. And remember the descension of Moses, it started on Thanksgiving. He ascended on Thanksgiving, came down for the first time when the fiscal cliff, when they were worried about that fiscal cliff right there, and that represented the golden calf, which is the golden bull on Wall Street, okay? And then the second time he descends represents a revealing. Remember that? I covered that in another video that I made. This second time represents a revealing, and today the seventh king announced that he is resigning, and the eighth king is the beast, okay? So let me just show you really quick what I'm talking about here. From the time that the Lateran Treaty was signed, when Vatican City became a country instead of just a city, it became its own country. And from that time, there have been 7 kings. So 1, 2, 3, okay, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so why does that matter? It matters because we know that the 8th king is the beast. Revelation 17:11. Okay, so you can look at all of this. I have an outline right here. This is a very, very brief outline of Revelation 17 and Revelation 18 that talks about this. Okay. It talks about the harlot on the beast, that is Vatican City, and the beast itself is the kings, the 7 kings. I'm sorry, the 7 heads of the beast are the 7 kings, and the 7 kings are right here. And let me just show you this chart that I made. Okay, this also has some scriptures to it. This is Babylon, Medo-Persia, the Greek Empire, the Roman Empire, and then out of that, the Roman Empire is the beast with 10 horns. This is Daniel 7 through 27, and Daniel 2:40. And then out of that comes the 7 kings, which we already know are those 7 popes since the Lateran Treaty. And the next king, the 8th king, is the final beast, the one with 7 heads and 10 horns. The 10 horns. Okay, now please understand what is going to happen, okay? This is a very basic outline. A star falls to earth and creates a huge pit. Revelation 8, 10, and 11. Revelation 9, 1 through 12. A beast rises out of the pit. Revelation 17, 8, okay? The beast also represents the New World Order because it represents several things. It doesn't just represent one thing, but, and there's actually two of them. Okay, so if you look at this chart right here, there's the first beast, okay, and the first beast has 7 heads and 10 horns. But then there's another beast. It's the lamb with 2 horns, and that beast makes all the world worship the first beast, okay? And then there's a third that's the little horn that rises out of the 10 horns of this beast, okay? Now, so what are the 10 horns? Well, we know that they're 10 kings because the Bible itself tells us that they're 10 kings. Okay? And you can go look at this outline and see where the scriptures are and go look yourself. But we know that there are 10 kings, okay? This is, the UN divides the world into 10 regions, okay? This is you can go to this PDF right here. You can go to, I'll leave the link below. And on page 57 of the PDF, you just click on this right here and it'll take you to this PDF that came out in 2009. Again, another important year. That was when Daniel's 7 years started. And so these are the 10 regions right here. So the 10 kings are the 10 horns are 10 kings who have power with the beast for 1 hour. Okay, so I just want to make sure people understand what's about to happen, okay? A star falls to the earth, creates a huge pit. The beast rises out of the pit. The new world order is going to rise out of this pit that the star makes. Whether if it's an asteroid striking the earth, I don't know, but it sure sounds like it to me, okay? Because there's smoke that rises out of the pit, the sky goes dark, everything, and then out of that rises the beast, the new world order, and also the 8th king. And you guys, I mean, this is huge. Pope Benedict is telling us right now the 8th king is about to rise at the beginning of March. And so I'm going to leave all these links for you guys. I also have a couple of links to some videos that other church groups have made. I don't agree with every single thing that they say. There's been new information that's come out, but these are really good videos, and I've had these in my list for a long time. So just, you can go down and you can click on any of these links in the description box to understand what's happening. But this is huge. We had a fulfillment on atonement, and now we're having a fulfillment on the first day of Sukkot. What does that mean for the last day of Sukkot? And please understand what I'm saying here. Again, this is not the standard Jewish calendar. This is not the human calendar. This is God's calendar. We had 4 fulfillments in fall of 2012. Every single one of these biblical timelines starts on one of God's fulfillments right here, okay? And the first day of Sukkot, we had a huge event. The 8th king announced that he is resigning, and the 7th king announced that he's resigning. And the 8th king is about to rise. I mean, it's huge, you guys. And the next, there's 7, we can count 7 days until President's Day, 7 days until the 25th, which is a full moon. And we also have this other 40 days of Moses. So another revealing perhaps in March 11th, 12th. I don't know, maybe, but we have this descent. Don't forget this right down here, perfectly aligned with December 21st. Moses ascended exactly on December 21st. Again, this is not my timeline. This is God's timeline. We had a fulfillment of Revelation 12, 1 through 5. All the links are below this video. And Moses ascended December 21st, according to that timeline, and will descend for the second time on March 11th, 12th. So today, Moses descended for the second time, and it represents a revealing, okay? So I'm just pointing this out to you. There's one last thing that I want to tell you guys. When I went on MSN today and I saw this article right here, you guys are going to freak. Look at this. This is what I saw. I saw this and I knew immediately what it meant, and I started freaking out. And then I looked at the time. Look at that. I am not kidding. I did not plan that. I looked at the time and I just about freaked. I mean, how many times have I seen that, you guys? I'm telling you, it doesn't stop. It's not stopping. it seems like every single week now we have some kind of confirmation that this timeline is correct, and that, like I said, on atonement we had an 8.0 earthquake, and now on the first day of Sukkot we have the Pope announcing his resignation, and the rising of the eighth king is coming. So right here, I mean, this timeline right here, remember, I started it on August 2nd, 2012, because that was the fulfillment of Daniel 12:11. All the proof is below this video. And that also represented when it was very similar to what the first day of the first month was. And that was when Moses raised up the tabernacle and put the ark inside. Well, that was exactly what happened this day. Obama, they were raising up the One World Trade Center, and Obama put the steel beam. They put the steel beam that Obama signed into the One World Trade Center on this day. So it very much paralleled that. And this is the timeline that we're talking about, that shows trumpets is happening on January 27th, 28th, atonement happening on February 4th, where we had this 8.0 earthquake. And now the first day of Sukkot, we're finding out that the seventh king is resigning and the beast is about to rise. And so all I'm saying is, what's going to happen on President's Day? Is something going to happen on President's Day too? Because President's Day is the last day of Sukkot, the seventh day of Sukkot. Okay, right here. It's just crazy how all of this stuff is tying in, okay? Okay, this is the seventh month right here, and all the scriptures that tell us what's happening, the appointments for the seventh month. That's what these are. These feast days were appointments for the future. It said in the 21st day of the seventh month, the Lord will shake the heavens and earth. Okay, that's the seventh day of Sukkot. I mean, I don't know if it means anything, but on the seventh day of Sukkot is right here, and that technically is the day that the asteroid's supposed to strike, because on the other side of the earth, it's like the asteroid is passing, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say strike, but when it passes, and maybe, you guys, maybe it's just a warning. Maybe this isn't going to be a strike or anything. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that. Okay, I'm not saying that. I don't know. I just do not know. All I'm pointing out is that we're having all of these unbelievable fulfillments, and this asteroid does pass on the 21st day of the seventh month, according to God's calendar right here, these fulfillments. Okay, because this full moon would have been the start of the seventh month. And so when we look at the time zones, it's actually passing at like 1900 hours UTC time. Okay, so here's UTC time right here. If this is 1900, this is 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, which would be 12 midnight of the next day. Okay? So it's passing at 1900 hours on the 15th UTC time, which is the 16th in the rest of the part of the world. In the Far East, it's the 16th. So technically it is the same day. And all I'm doing is pointing it out. It might just be a warning, and maybe nothing will happen. I'm not saying that something's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. All I do is put the pieces of the puzzle together, okay? And it's my job. It's my job to warn people. It's my job to send encouragement to those that are going to be saved, and it's my job to warn the people that are not going to be raptured, and they're going to be left on the earth, and they're going to go through this stuff. And that's what I'm doing. I also wanted to point out that the number 14, very interesting. I saw a heart. I've had several signs that showed me a heart. There was a heart. One of my hairs in the bathtub was in the shape of a heart. I had another incident that was a personal thing that ended up being a heart. I had all these heart incidents happening. I don't know if it has something to do with this, but I also was seeing 14. So I don't know if that's DA-14. I don't know. But huge things are happening, and I have to tell you guys what's going on.